been a super busy January and there just hasn't been time to go live with all of you. These are the free group training sessions that I do for those of you that are subscribed to the list. So if you're seeing this on LinkedIn right now, first of all, know that you are not on the list. And the way that you get on the list, there's a link down below in LinkedIn where you can sign up. We send you an email notification 1 hour before I go live, and you're able to watch the recording. So again, if you're watching us here on LinkedIn, you are not part of the exclusive group membership crew. You're definitely going to want to click the link in the bio, drop your email address in so we can send you reminders. For the rest of you that are watching this on YouTube, you are able to ask me questions. So remember, the only place you can ask questions in these group trainings is on our YouTube. So please pop those questions in the chat. I'm going to take the next 30 minutes or so to answer what I can, specifically around LinkedIn, fixing your LinkedIn, taking advantage of LinkedIn's 360 brew algorithm update, and basically anything else you need to understand. But I did want to mention this, and I'm pretty excited about it. I am going to be doing a training next Tuesday, and I want to show it all to you. It's called 20 LinkedIn posts that get you job offers without applying. So this is also linked in the bio down below. This is a paid session. You will get live access as well as the recording and a workbook where I'm going to teach you the 20 posts that you should be putting in LinkedIn right now to be found by recruiters who are looking for people with your skill sets. So if you've ever wondered what that looks like, this is the class to come to. It is next Tuesday, February 3rd, the live version from 2 to a little after 3 p.m. But if you can't attend live, you can still purchase a seat, and that will guarantee you forever access to the recording as well as the workbook so that you can watch it at your convenience. So again, next Tuesday, 20 LinkedIn posts that attract job offers without applying. The link is down below. Grab your seat, come to the session, and start using LinkedIn the right way, step by step for you, right? The course is going to help you figure out what you should be posting for you, for your industry, and for your skill set. All right. And I hope to see you there. Seating's limited, so grab a seat now. Okay. Awesome. All right. So now I'm going to go over again. I just want to remind you all that the only place I take questions is in YouTube. So if you're over on our YouTube page, fantastic. I will be able to answer your questions for you, which is wonderful. Otherwise, for the rest of you, if you're on LinkedIn, you're just kind of watching us, but you'd have to go over to LinkedIn in order to see it. So shout out to everybody that's on. I can see there's a bunch of you there. Again, if you have a question, pop it in the chat. While I'm waiting for those, I think this is a good opportunity for me to talk a little bit more about the 360 Brew algorithm. So LinkedIn is a search engine, just like the way you use Google search. And it constantly has to make changes to how the search works because it wants to make sure that it is surfacing the most relevant information for the person that's doing the searching. In the case of LinkedIn, these are recruiters. Recruiters are searching for people that fit very certain specific characteristics, right? So the algorithm update they did was designed to improve upon the search results that recruiters were getting. Now, what that meant was it had to change how it looked at you. And one of the biggest changes was that it wanted to see your relevancy and your frequency, meaning it wanted to see that you were posting and commenting and connecting on a regular basis, but not just doing that randomly, doing it with intent. And by that, I mean talking about your industry and your skill set in a way that it would allow its AI to read it and understand what you do for a living and what your strengths and specialties were so it could match you to these recruiters. That is what 360 Brew is all about. It is working extremely well. My clients, my members over at Work It Daily, we have a whole system that we teach them and we support them every week in terms of what they're writing, how they're posting as job seekers. The response has been amazing. People are getting visible, they're getting recruiters contacting them, and that's because there's a huge hidden job market right now. We're calling it the quiet hiring era. And what that means is that employers have stopped posting jobs because they don't want thousands of applicants. Instead, they're telling their recruiters to get on LinkedIn and find people who are a match. Again, why this 360 Brew algorithm update is so important to you and why you need to know what to do in order to get found on LinkedIn. Is that making sense? Yeah. So definitely the case. So, I mean, this is a great question right here from Thomas. Something has changed recently on LinkedIn. I feel like I'm not getting nearly as many impressions. You're not. That's exactly what the 360 Brew algorithm is about, Thomas. I don't know how long you've been on the platform, but a lot of long timers on the platform have been complaining like I used to get all these impressions. It's not about impressions anymore. Your goal should not be to get as many impressions as possible. Your goal is to make sure that the right people are seeing you. It is far more important that one pair of eyeballs who can hire you or give you whatever opportunity you're trying to get give you that job than for you to get 10,000 eyeballs who can do nothing for you. We're not trying to become influencers on LinkedIn. We're not trying to get a million followers and hundreds of thousands of views. We're trying to get the right audience to find us. And what's been really interesting is from the moment they did 360 Brew algorithm update in the end of October of 2025, my posts skyrocketed. And that's because I have already been doing and teaching what 360 Brew wants you to do. I never wanted millions of impressions. What I wanted was the right people to see and hear what I was talking about. And I've always subscribed to that. And I've taught all my clients that. So, Thomas, it doesn't matter. Impressions don't matter. Results matter. Engagement matters. So you need to be thinking more about less impressions, less eyeballs, but more quality eyeballs who are engaging with your content and connecting with you. Now, if nobody's engaging with your content, then my concern is that you're not doing some of the other techniques, which I'm going to be teaching in that class next week, that would drive that engagement for you. So again, it's knowing your audience, knowing who you want connecting with you, and then doing very specific things in order to make that happen. All right, let's see this question. Generated a LinkedIn post with ChatGPT Pro, but also purchased a boost as it's part of a 3-day campaign of posts. Did I make a mistake paying for this? Well, while it's not 100% yet, LinkedIn is working very hard to suppress AI generated content. So, and by the way, it's not just LinkedIn. Organizations, all social media platforms are getting inundated with AI generated content that's messing up their algorithms. So I know for a fact, because I know the people inside LinkedIn, that they're constantly working to fine tune the algorithm to suppress AI generated content. So my concern is if they clearly know it was ChatGPT based and then you boosted it, it I mean, you might have just money not well spent, right? The other thing too, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what you generated. So here's like the huge mistake people are making. In this last year, prior to the 360 Brew algorithm update, the posts that did really well were things like 7 things the life of Madame Curie taught me about, project management, or they would do like people would create these random stories about their personal lives or whatever. A lot of it was made up. And then at the end, it'd be like, and here's the moral of the story. So, yes, these stories went viral because they were interesting. But my one question every time is anytime you post something, at the end of the post, would people know what you do for a living? No. Like, I can't tell you how many posts I saw last year on LinkedIn where they got like, I don't know, 3 million views. And I wouldn't know what that person did for a living. Who cares? That's not the point of LinkedIn. LinkedIn doesn't want you doing that anymore. So be clear, folks. Gratuitous posting just to try to get views is a waste of your time. It's not a good use. You are supposed to be documenting your knowledge and providing evidence of what you can do. And that's how you will be found and connected. And that's the big change, why we're seeing such a shift in what gets viewed and what doesn't. Yeah. Yeah. I hope that made sense. What advice will you give someone who has just started posting? So, is it Natalie? Hi, Natalie. So, the first thing is I did a video this week about the 5 types of content. And these are the 5 types of content that time and again, I've been teaching this for 13 years, right? Since I've been a top voice on LinkedIn, that absolutely work as long as you properly utilize your industry and your skill sets within them. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have a content framework. Again, we'll be teaching this in the 20 LinkedIn posts that attract job offers without applying. That's the session, and it's linked down below that you can attend next week. And a content framework ensures that you're putting constraints on what you're doing. I think a lot of times people decide to post on LinkedIn and they just start randomly posting. They don't have some sort of system. And let me tell you why that's important. In advertising, just go look this up. They understand in advertising that somebody is going to need to see your ad 5 to 17 times before it registers. Let me say that again, 5 to 17 times, maybe more. You're an ad. You posting is an ad, but it's a documentation of your skill sets. So you're going to have to post consistently the right theme, right? In order for it to stick. If you post randomly 17 times, nobody's going to know what you do. But if you're posting consistently about your industry and your skill set, over time, not only will the AI algorithm on LinkedIn understand you, but people who are following you will understand you as well. So the number one thing we do when we start posting is we have a certain type of constraint and structure to the content that we're doing to ensure that the theme is landing and it's registering with the AI as well as your audience. Does that make sense? Yeah. Let's see this question here. What's the difference between search appearances, profile views, and post impressions on LinkedIn? Yep. Okay. So search appearances is a recruiter or somebody on the platform put in very specific keywords and was looking for a specific type of person, and you matched it and therefore came up in the search results. So that's search results. All right. Um, Post impressions, or I'm sorry, profile views is how many people actually physically went over to your profile and took a look at it. So they clicked on your profile to look at it. Okay. And then post impressions is you posted a piece of content, how many people actually saw that in the feed. And by the way, post impressions, like if they scrolled past, it's going to count as impression. Did they really read or pay attention? Probably not, but they're going to count that as an impression if somebody scrolled past it in their feed. So I don't love impressions because I don't feel like it gives you a very accurate sense of who saw your stuff. But again, those are three very distinct elements. It's not that I think one is more important than the other. I think impressions is less important, probably the least important of the three. Getting people to look at your profile is extremely important, but the only way you're going to get people to look at your profile is if you're showing up in search results. So what it all comes back to is if you are documenting your knowledge correctly and feeding the algorithm, you will show up in more search results, and the likelihood that people will click on you in the search results and look at your profile increases. And that's the process you're trying to make happen. Yeah. Let's see. How about this one? When you say AI generated content, does that mean copy and paste from ChatGPT or using it as the baseline, then adding your own tone and twist? Excellent question. When I say AI generated content, I mean you literally copying and pasting it from ChatGPT with no changes. You have to do some significant altering or editing to your content in order for it not to be seen as AI generated. Um, the other thing I would do is I would give the AI a lot of your own thoughts and ideas and then say just pretty it up. That is going to come across more like you because there's going to be a lot of personal information in there, your word choice, etc. But when you just say, "Hey, make up a post about this," that's fully AI generated and it can read and understand that. And so you want to be really mindful of that. You really want to try to make it your own. Do you want to run it through ChatGPT to make sure that the punctuation's right or that you didn't misspell something? Sure, but I would try not to allow it to generate everything for you. Are you familiar with the dynamic gradient technique, DRT, or the modern profile optimization system? I am not. Don't know what either of those are. I got laid off mid November, got a job by the end of December from a recruiter reaching out on LinkedIn. See, this is what I mean. Recruiters are on LinkedIn, not publicly posting the job because they don't want thousands of applicants, but they are 100% finding people on LinkedIn. 100%. This is how it's being done. I don't know if y'all saw, but I was in CNBC last week and Jennifer Liu interviewed me and I talked about like stop applying online. It's an archaic, outdated, stressful, depressing method with very little data shows you've got less than a 3% chance of getting contacted for an interview. Whereas in devoting your time and energy to being smart on LinkedIn can get much better returns, much better returns. All right. Let's see. I connected with a hiring manager on LinkedIn. Should I message directly asking how to earn an interview at the company or softer and reach out with a question to learn more about their background? I would be more direct but specific. So I'm a fan of your company for this reason, right? Give them a very specified reason so they know. I would love to know one thing you think is most important when trying to earn an interview with your company. I'm not looking for you to get me a job. I'm just looking for advice. So notice I said one thing. It's much easier when somebody asks us for one thing than to ask us an open-ended question. So to say, what's one thing you think is really important to earn an interview with your company? I'm not looking for you to get me a job. I'm just seeking guidance. That way the clarification's there that you're not asking for it, but you're also being specific. That tends to work really well. Let's see. I use AI to correct my spelling. That is a great use of AI. That is a great use. How do I go about posting on LinkedIn to look for new work while not altering my current employer? Yeah, Josh, you document your knowledge and you can document your knowledge while citing your current employer. That is a big part. Like next week, when I do this 20 LinkedIn posts that attract job offers without applying, that would be ideal for you. You're what we call a stealth job seeker. So those 20 posts, many of them would involve your company, citing your company and talking about it as a way to compliment them. but at the same time, it is still feeding the algorithm. So you would want to learn how to do that. Yeah. Do you think quiet hiring is also applying to your? Yes, I 100% do. Across the board, job boards are down because companies don't want to get fake AI generated resumes. It has literally broken the applicant tracking systems as we know it. There's too much garbage going into companies' recruitment systems that they have stopped posting for that reason, and that's globally. As part of getting the final offer, I had to complete the application on their job site. I got an auto rejection because I did not have all the certifications they listed in the description. Yeah, this is what I mean. This is why you don't apply online. Literally, you're being given the job offer, but their ATS system rejected you after you're being given the job offer. This is what I mean about it being broken. Yeah. Without putting the open to work banner on, what changes can you add to LinkedIn to let them know you're available? Just posting. Thomas, it is just posting. I don't think I can make that clear enough to everybody. Every single one of you needs to be posting about your industry and skill set so the algorithm understands. Recruiters are going to contact you. If you're a fit, they're going to contact you. They know you're on LinkedIn. You're fair game to them. So you don't need to flag, hey, I'm available to know. There is, if it matters to you, there is a switch you need to toggle on in your settings. So when you go to your privacy settings, there's a switch, and it's where the open to work banner is. So you know where you go to your profile page and you click open to work. There's a second option there. Don't put the green open to work banner on, but underneath it, it says let recruiters know you're open. Turn that on. The banner doesn't go on, but on the back end, it does say, hey, you can contact this person. So I would turn that on, but that's right where that is. Otherwise, they know. Yeah. I had a recruiter mention that in a LinkedIn post and after I sent her my resume. Yep. Yeah, that's great. Okay. I'm going to remind you all I am doing a huge training next week, 20 LinkedIn posts that get you job offers without applying. This is my proven methodology where I take you through the 5 content formats and how to customize them for your industry and your skill set. So the next 20 things you post on LinkedIn are feeding the 360 Brew algorithm update. The cost is $49. It's a one-time payment. You get to come to the live event, you get forever access to the recording, and you get the workbook that is going to break down how to do this. I'm doing this because right now there are way too many of you sitting on LinkedIn doing it wrong. And you're posting content and you're saying it's not working. It's not working because you don't understand how to utilize the system. I'm going to reveal that system to you in that training. So this is your sign to grab your seat, come join me next week, get access, and really fix what you're doing in your feed for you. All right. It's really important. I'm going to be showing you some amazing technology as well that's helping us at Work It Daily just catapult the effectiveness of our clients in terms of their specificity for the algorithms. You'll be seeing that as well. Cool. All right. Let's come back. Do we have more questions? Again, if you're watching this on LinkedIn, you are a voyeur. To actually ask questions, you need to sign up for my free group coaching. The link is down below. You pop your email address in. You'll be notified 60 minutes before. I never know when I'm going live, so you'll just get an email notification and you'll be invited to watch us on YouTube where you can ask questions, just so you know. Yeah. Yeah. Removing the green banner now. That is what I want to hear. Yes. Let's see. When a role isn't posted on job boards but only appears on a company's internal careers page, does that still count as part of the hidden job market? What is that typically called? Yeah, because they're in their mind, you would have to know about the company and want to work for them to go to their careers page and apply. So yeah, that would still fall into that market. What's the difference between your boot camp and the event next week? It's a great question. So 2 weeks ago, I did a LinkedIn executive boot camp just to help people understand the entire concept around the 360 brewer algorithm change and how you as a professional are going to need to document your knowledge in LinkedIn. So I walked you through your LinkedIn profile and right top to bottom what you needed to optimize. And then I showed you what you needed to be doing in your feed in an overarching way. Out of that session, there were so many requests to understand specifically what to post that we decided to do this 20 posts. I'm not going to teach you anything about your profile in this session. The entire session is going to be showing you how to figure out what your pillars and pain points are, how they translate into skill sets, and then how to create content that is specific to the feed. That's all we're going to do in that session. So it's almost like a part 2. And a lot of people are buying the Executive LinkedIn Bootcamp to understand that first, and then are purchasing this so that it's the second part of it, almost like a two-part learning, if you will. But yeah, next week's session is specifically the next 20 things you're going to post on LinkedIn. Let's see. I'm getting a ton of recruiters looking to network and not recruitment. They send me job descriptions, I reply, and they ghost. Yeah, Elizabeth, be careful. Some of those are scams. Just be really careful. Don't give too much information. A lot of them are looking to connect with you because that's how they get access to your network, right? So it's a phishing scheme. Be very, very careful of who you connect with. Yeah, please. Let's see. I agree with you. These days, many people are using AI generated content, but at the same time, it's giving a 10-time boost when used the right way. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you'll never use AI. In fact, next week, I'll be showing you one way we are using AI, but it's an AI agent that it took us 2 years to build. And the agent is able to take very specific information about you as a professional to create the outline of what you should be doing. You then can build that, but it's much easier to build that once we've given you a proven framework, and you'll see some of that next week. Yeah. If I've had WID for 3 months, you need to pay attention. If you are, that's a great question, Hillary. I think you mean WID. If you are an active member of Work It Daily, so if you have a membership to our program, a monthly membership where you get our entire career library, 5 live sessions a week, right? Coaching on demand. If you're a member, you get to come to these sessions for free. You do not need to pay. That is a bonus. Worth, like, literally, that's the funny thing. A membership to our program starts at $39 a month. You get literally these sessions included for free. So it already pays for itself once a month. Yes. So if you have a WID membership, you're good. I do see now the LinkedIn telling me who viewed my profile. It does, but it doesn't. You have to pay premium to see over the past 30 days. It'll show you who viewed. Most recruiters are putting themselves in incognito mode. So there's a lot of people that could be looking at your profile and they don't know. You're not going to know that for sure. Let's see. Jonathan says, JT, happy to report 5 interviews this week so far. Things are picking up and seeing me on LinkedIn. Well, Jonathan, that doesn't surprise me. Folks, you should go take a look at Jonathan's profile. Jonathan is a member of Work It Daily. He immediately dialed in to the content model. He started not only producing content, but leaned in to video. He's doing an excellent job of proving he's a real human being with real thoughts and ideas on how to solve HR problems. And guess what? He's getting interviews. LinkedIn is the new interview center. LinkedIn is, you know how companies would call you and do a phone screen to determine if you're a fit and if you should be passed on to the hiring manager? Your LinkedIn feed is that now. When you do this correctly, you are giving any recruiter that comes across you a chance to go, oh, they're real. Oh, look, they can answer those questions. You statistically increase your chances that they're going to contact you for an interview because you've done the homework and given them what they need. That's why this training is so vital. Yeah. Good. Okay, team, I've got a few minutes left here. Just remember, next week's live training link is down below. If you're not a member, if you're a member of Work It Daily, you have an active paying subscription to my platform, it's free. It's a bonus. We do live sessions every month. You get them free. Okay. If you're not a member, you're not ready to become a subscription member yet, you might just want to do the one-time payment, come to this session, get the live training, the recording, and the workbook. It's $49 because I have to put it on a platform for you to access it since you're not in our membership. So that's why it costs that. But you can come to the training next week and learn exactly what the next 20 things should be for you to post on LinkedIn. Yeah. I've noticed that a lot of HR recruiters are ghosting after the initial phone screens. Yeah. The problem is they have so much talent to choose from. I don't know if you realize this, but job postings have dropped to 1/2 and the number of people looking for work have doubled. Okay. So when I tell you companies have their choice of talent, they'll interview 5 to 10 people, but only 3 people are moving forward. So it's gotten a lot harder to get a job. You have to nail your phone screens right now. That is a big part of what we teach inside Work It Daily. We have an entire career library. And a big part of what we teach in our program is how to nail interviews right now, because your interview answers just have to be next level right now or you don't move forward. You 100%. It's that important. We, in fact, have an entire interview prep session live every week because it's that valuable with a career coach, because it's so important right now. Yeah. Um, Here's an interesting statistic that just came out. 40% of people in corporate America have a side hustle because they're underemployed. So 40% of college educated workers that are working right now have to have a side hustle because of how bad the economy is out there right now. So you like it or not, if you want a new, better paying job, the way you present yourself has got to go next level. I'm sorry, it's just not negotiable. You can be as mad as you want about it. I know none of you are, but you have to be next level. You have to have a good LinkedIn feed. You have to be really putting yourself out there and proving you know what you talk about and being real, or you will not be found and you will not win. And I hate to have to say that to people, but the reality is 2 out of 10 of you will listen to me. I'm just calling it today. 2 out of 10 of you will do what I tell you to do, and guess what? You'll get new jobs. But the rest of you will sit and think about this and not take action. And it's just human nature. It's not any reflection. It's just how humans are. They procrastinate, right? We don't want to learn new things. We want to just keep doing the same familiar things, but the familiar thing you're doing, applying online, is not working. Why would you keep doing a familiar thing? Like imagine being on a diet and being miserable on a diet but gaining weight. So you're dieting and gaining weight, dieting. That is the equivalent of what people are doing right now, applying online and getting ghosted, applying online and getting ghosted, and being so miserable. You have to do something different. LinkedIn is that answer. Learning what to put in your LinkedIn feed to be found by recruiters is the future. AI is moving completely in that direction. So yeah, it's definitely worth it to understand it. Yes. Yeah, just a little reminder. If you're on LinkedIn, I can't see your questions. I don't answer your questions on LinkedIn. This live, you're just kind of a voyeur. If you want access to the group coaching and you want to be able to, and by the way, this group coaching session's free, but if you want access to be able to ask questions, you have to pop your email address in. It's linked down below. Then we send you a reminder and we give you access to the YouTube. Yeah. Did you know that Amazon laid off 16,000 employees? Yes, this was always planned, just so you know. Amazon announced last year they were going to lay off 30,000. They laid off 14,000 in the end of 2025. We always knew they were going to lay off another 16. What you probably didn't hear is that UPS just announced they're laying off 30,000, and the reason they're laying off 30,000 is because of Amazon. They had a partnership with Amazon that wasn't working well. Amazon isn't sending out as much stuff. So this is a trickle effect. And 16,000 by Amazon and 30,000 by UPS is just the beginning, folks. We're not even close to being done yet. You're going to continue to see the biggest companies in the world cut 5-6 figure amount jobs over the rest of this year. Everything is changing. Every company is going back to smaller. So the job opportunities are going to be with new firms, with smaller companies, with agile companies. Those companies aren't going to post jobs. They don't want 10,000 applicants. They're going to come on LinkedIn and they're going to look for people. Plain and simple. This is what I mean about everything shifting. So yes, very aware of the layoffs. These won't be the last layoffs you hear. They're just some of the first. All right, team. So listen, again, I will be doing 20 LinkedIn posts that attract job offers without applying. It is a paid session for non-members. So if you're not a member of Work It Daily, you don't have a membership with us, you can sign up. It's a one-time payment. You get live access, the recording, and the workbook. I'm going to teach you the 20 things you should post to feed the algorithm so recruiters can find you. All right. For my members, my Work It Daily members, I love you. It's free for you. You'll just be able to log in next week. Okay. And speaking of which, in about 30 minutes, I will be going live inside Work It Daily. For those of you that you don't know, when you have a membership to Work It Daily, we have 5 live coaching sessions a week. 2 of them I host. They are at 3 p.m. on Wednesdays and Thursdays, Eastern Standard Time. It's an AMA, and I work with all of our clients on everything related to their brand, their content, everything. So for my members that are watching right now, I'll see you in 30 minutes inside the private community. For those of you that are not members, today might be the day you want to think about it. It's also linked down below or over at workitdaily.com. We offer a 7-day free trial to the standard membership, which means you could sign up today and not pay a dime, and you literally could come to my private training in 30 minutes. So if you're interested in doing that, please go check it out. The 7-day trial membership is a great way for you to come in and get coached, come to 5 live sessions a week, full career library, and access to all of the events, paid events that we do. So that might be something you want to consider, but I know many people are just kind of subscription shy right now. That's why we're also offering a single paid event. Okay. All right. Don't know when I'll be back again, but if you signed up for my free group coaching, you will get an email notification 60 minutes before I go live. I never know when it's going to be. I do them as much as I can, but this month's been super busy, so I haven't done as many. Hopefully, I'll see a bunch of you, especially when I've got all the live trainings to do inside our program. So hopefully, I'll see some of you inside there. Otherwise, until next time, folks, remember, if you want to win, you got to work it daily, okay?